Good evening, welcome to Sunday Night Live of Last Bowl Boxing, following the massive fight last night in Saudi. Joined by Brett. Good morning, Brett, where you are?
Morning, boys. Morning. Yeah. It's an early Christmas Eve morning for me in Canada.
Good evening, Orkan from Scandinavia.
Good evening, Carl. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Medcalf from only up the road in Worksop.
Good evening.
That's about the pleasantries out of the way, so let's get on with normal form. Okay, we're going to jump straight into Moses Atoma last night with his demolition of Dempsey McKean. So I'll come to you first on this, Mr. Medcalf. Give us your thoughts.
Quality. It's not as though I didn't expect that, though, because I think I said I expected him to wipe him out within 3, I think. Listen, the kid's doing everything asked of him. And if he's going to go on to do what people are saying, he needs to be doing stuff like that in style. He's doing everything right. He's not been hit on chin yet. He's not been put under any pressure. He's quite a small heavyweight as well. But he's very fast, very sharp, very skillful, very powerful. And I will say, if he turns out to have a chin on him, then heavyweight division could be in a little bit of bother. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I'm a big fan of him, but I'm also real that I've seen a lot of these kids coming along. Probably. Listen, he's doing everything. I mean, I got told about him about a year before he turned professional. Kid who obviously used to be at the gym with Gilly, works for England Boxing. He said keep an eye out for him. Very, very, very good. I just hope he's looked after properly. I don't want to see him rushed because of this Mike Tyson thing. Because let's be fair, if he breaks Mike Tyson's record by beating like a Manuel Char or whoever it is, it's diluted in it. It's not, it's not the way that Tyson did it. So I just think it's pointless chasing it. I don't think Ben will allow that. And I think Matt's right. Listen, if he turns out he's got a chin on him and he's got some art on him, which I presume he will have, I think he can be world heavyweight champion, 100%.
So, Daz, you're now his manager. You're mapping out 2025, but it probably looks like 3 fights on average. Who would you throw him in with them 3 fights?
Mate, I think I said yesterday. I'd like him in with a Jagbo, maybe. I can't remember what others I said were. I did say yesterday because I thought to myself I'd like to see him in these, but if a Jagbo, I'm trying to think who else. Just a couple of kids who are ranked above him.
Yeah.
But not too, not too daft. I don't really want to see him in with like Chisora and Joyce and Dillian White. If I'm honest, I don't want to see that because I think he blows them away. I think he's too good for him. At this stage, they're like shot to pieces. I don't think he's going to learn anything from that.
You might learn a bit about the dark arts, though.
I don't think he will, mate. I don't think he will because I think he'll wipe Chisora in a round or so. I think he'll wipe Joyce out, and I think he'll wipe Dillian White out. I mean, what can they do to him? What can they do? A few little elbows inside and stuff. I don't think they'll get to him. I think they're just way past the best. I think he's way above that. I mean, I'd like to see him in with someone above him. I can't for life remember who else I said. I know I named 3 names on our group chat. And I can't remember. But I know a Jagbo were one. So why not put him in with him? And then, listen, a fight or two's time, Fabio Wardley maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, what he showed yesterday is very, very intelligent. He was going up and down and he was setting it up. Do you know what I mean? And he doesn't, what I liked about him yesterday is he didn't extend himself to where he was off balance. He punched on the perfect range of his power. Full extension, but perfect range with his feet. Just very impressive. And he seems like a nice kid as well.
He does. I'll bring Brett in. So, Brett, similar question to you, fella. Break the fight down for us. I know it's very quick, so it won't take much breaking down. But then again, so if you're manager of him, what does 2025 look like?
Well, the thing about it, obviously, we're all pining out for that next heavyweight, aren't we? Because after what in England, in Britain, after we saw what happened last night to Fury, and then obviously what happened to AJ previously, can't really lay all our flowers on Daniel Dubois because of people forget the drop into one knee against Joyce, being knocked out by a jab by USYK. Like, let's all slow down. Daz just hit it on the head there. There's levels, and this is why we have to be careful with this one. We have to not protect him, but we have to understand where he's at. He looked unreal yesterday in terms of this. It wasn't just going out there trying to wipe somebody out, like getting excited about Johnny Fisher because he knocks his bin men out in a minute. It was like, it was composed. It was feints. It was levels. It was like he was trying to get his hands down and then tapping that body. He knew what he was going to do. He tapped the body and then come over, boom, lights out. And for me, I'm a little bit like Daz in terms of, I don't really know where he goes. Do I want to see him in with Chisora? No, I don't want to see him in with Chisora or Joyce because I feel the same way. Dylan White might just rough him up enough to give him some experience.
Yeah, I think he would.
And he's tough and he's durable, and it'll be a good press conference for him. It'll be learning in the build up. Dylan White's it's a good one. You know, he's not ready for Bacoli yet. He still needs to have another learning fight, but he needs another learning step up. And the only thing I did say yesterday is, and you probably shoot me down because of what Fabio did to him, but maybe it's Big Fraze. And the reason why it's Big Fraze is because he's got that Olympic pedigree. He's a top human. It'll be a good fight for him, but he might walk through him as well. But trying my best not to get super excited about him, but watching the way he dismantled him yesterday was very, very impressive. And we have to admit that it was very impressive.
And one thing about Fraser Clark, he needs a bounce back win, right? He needs to make a statement, and that would make a statement.
And also, mate, we don't know how bad the injury is. That might give him, because Turkey will be on. Turkey will be, Moses now is Turkey's boy. Moses is now going to be Turkey. So there's nothing but big fights and big paydays for Moses now. And so Fraze might look at it and go, well, this ain't right, to be honest with you. I need one more mega payday. I don't want to have to be on someone's undercard somewhere. I'm gonna cash myself out with $5-6 million here. And so it might work for everybody, to be honest, mate.
One of them, just to cut in, I've just remembered one of them I did say was Yui Fiore.
Yeah, I like that one when you said that yesterday. I like that one.
Can you remember other one I said? I did say another, didn't I? I said
it was Justice Huni.
Justice Huni, that's it.
Yeah, that would happen. Yeah, with it.
Probably not, but I'd rather see him in with some other hungry fighters than these faded fighters. But I think Fraser Clark's a good shot.
Yeah, here's a name for you. I've come to Orkham with this one for obvious reasons. What about Otis Wallen, that legendary fighter from your neck of the woods?
Otto Wallen has already signed to fight Chisora, so that fight Otto Wallen can't happen before the summer. So Otto Wallen is out of the question.
Well, not really, because obviously he's only just fought a tumor, so he couldn't be next out in the summer.
A tumor apparently is targeting 8 fights next year.
Wow.
I think they'll want Itelma out in February, mate.
And I think that Justice Huni that Daz mentioned is a very good fight.
I mean,
Give us your breakdown, fella, of how you thought he performed last night and who you would put him in next.
Yeah, I was really impressed, and I just was away from the DAZN coverage just a minute, and then the fight was ended. So I didn't expect the fight to be ended in the first round, and it was a statement from Moses Ikoma. So interesting to see what's next for him. And I think Justice Hune is a good shout.
Good, Carlo.
Yeah, I just can't see that happening. I'll have a coffee on it with the whole lot of you that don't happen next, because they're building his profile. There's no way they'll throw him in with Moses at this stage. No way.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But Fabio Wardley would be a good fight.
There's too much going off there with the Ben Davidson thing. I think what they're going to do is they're going to try and put Fabio on his own path to see how far he can go.
Yeah, because he's advising Fabio, isn't he? He's part at camp, sort of, isn't he?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, mate, is like they're gonna because he looked good against Fraze. They're gonna step him up. Now listen, if he don't look great, boxing's a business. Ben knows he's got this golden child here. But he also doesn't know if Fabio can reach the heights. If Fabio plummets, then that's a different conversation. Yeah. Maybe Fabio goes to another camp.
Can you imagine? It must be an absolute nightmare to matchmate Moses Atuma, because obviously if you throw him in with someone who blows away in one round, the boxing public get pissed off. But you also don't want to throw him in deep water too quick.
What I will say though, is some of these matchmakers are very, very clever. If you look at Dempsey McKean's style, straight up, don't move his head, he's there to be it, and that's not taking anything away from Moses. He's doing what's asked of him, and he's doing it in style, so he can do no more. But we need to see him get it.
Someone's got to put it on him, Dad, hasn't there?
It's not just that, mate. It's not just that. Listen, Moses is a very good counter puncher. Right, so we need to see someone throw him some feints, so they can draw his counters, and then so they can counter. It's but then you're going into upper echelons, I suppose, at heavyweight division. And he's doing everything asked of him, and he's doing it well. And good luck to him.
You know, sparring stories, I know, whatever, but I have it on very good authority that he gave Fury absolute nightmares. When that one got cancelled, when Fury was and they cancelled it, in that camp, Moses apparently gave Fury nightmares. So when you talk about because there's nobody better than the fakes with Fury with that, it would be interesting to see how he does with that. But I'm with you, Daz. Like because he's looking so good, we don't know what his Achilles heel is yet. Like you said in the group chat last night, you want to see him get bashed. You want to see him get whacked on the nose and see what he's made of after that. So we can be excited, but there's still a lot more questions to be answered. We're not making out he's going to be the world's greatest ever.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. So I'll come to you first on this one, Brett. I saw your comments, Mr. Metcalf, on Twitter where you were saying basically it was a close fight, and these people who are saying it was a robbery need to give the head a wobble, basically.
Yeah, I'll stand by that. It were the wrong man won. I'm not disputing that, but I've said today, I put it on Facebook today. I've seen a lot of social media outlets and people who should know better calling it the worst decision they've ever seen in boxing.
No, that's a bit of a stretch.
Mate, that's ludicrous. Yeah. Absolutely ludicrous.
I felt for Dave Allen, though. I felt for him when he sunk to his knees at the end of the fight, because I thought he won it.
I thought the knockdown was the difference. That's it.
Yeah.
For me. I mean, I'll obviously tell you my opinion at fight when it's my turn.
So, Brett, coming to you, obviously breaking the fight down, but did Dave Allen show you had more left than you thought he had left?
Possibly, or was Johnny Fisher, because we spoke about this on the Thursday show, was Johnny Fisher exposed for the fact that he's not what, he's it's like I said, it's okay knocking taxi and Uber drivers out, and he does great at that, and he sells tickets, and you know his dad's brilliant. One thing I will say, I was so pleased to see. Have you all seen it? That little clip where his dad gives his son a kiss and he says, "I'm proud of you, mate. You showed me something tonight." And then he turns to Dave Allen and he said, "I had you winning the fight."
Yeah.
They're real people, which is what I
really.
like. And at the end of the day, whether Johnny Fisher's going to be a bit of fun and he's going to get in there, he's going to have a tear up, and maybe he hasn't got a chin. We don't know yet. But the bottom line is they're real people, which I really do like. They're not trying to make out that they're going to be the next greatest thing. They're just trying to earn a bit of living out of the game. Yeah. What I was disappointed with, and you know, probably a little bit emotional after the fight, saying it was a robbery. I think Daz is right. It's not a robbery. It's not the worst decision we've ever seen. It was very close. But for me, it was more about knowing the Dave Allen story of always being thrown on shows with Eddie and then being tossed to the side when he was done. He was go away, you're done now. And then he comes back. And for me, he puts in a great performance. He rode out those first 4 rounds, puts in a great performance. And, he's never going to be this or that, Dave Allen, ever. But it would have been nice for him to have that Saudi moment to walk off with his 2 kids and his missus and go, you know what? I went on that big Saudi card and I won that fight and I took a belt home to my 2 kids. That was what I was more disappointed with. But a robbery, no. But Dave Allen should have won the fight.
What do you think of Fisher's stamina? He looked foot during that second half of the fight, didn't he?
He did, mate. But can you remember it's still there now? The whole thing about AJ being muscly and Daz will be able to tell you. Does that play a part? I think with Fisher, it's more a case of he's not used to. We spoke about it on the show on Thursday. He's not used to going past 4 rounds. You don't even know what that territory is like. Like when they start going in there and the emotion starts going into the body and the adrenaline goes, and then he's been dropped, and then he's starting to say, "Oh shit, I might lose tonight." Like all those things that adds into that anxiety. But he did look. If we can just not chastise him on being the next Fury or being the next AJ, if we can just chastise him as a British heavyweight, he did show a little bit of bollocks last night because he was hurt. He was massively hurt, and to be honest, some of those shots that Dave Allen landed in the home stretch, they should have put him down from the one that he was put down with. If I'm being brutally honest, Dave Allen landed some big shots, and he rode them out. He got the victory. He shouldn't have got the victory. But everyone talking about, want to see that match again. There's not a chance in the universe we're going to ever see that fight again. Fisher's going to avoid him like the plague, and he's going to be like this. And what they'll do is they'll probably drop him down a level again. What do you think, Dad? They'll drop him down a level again.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Dad's coming to you next. Some of the commentary is saying that they pulled Johnny Fisher out towards the end of the fight. Would you have pulled him out?
Listen, they were saying going just end at 9th, they'd pull him out. It were a 10-rounder. There were one more round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't. Yeah, he looked tired, but so did Dave Allen. I think that's when it's a case of commentators not doing their own work on how many rounds it
They
were.
thought it was a 12-rounder, didn't they?
Yeah. Listen, Johnny Fisher come out. I expected Johnny to blow Dave away, if I'm honest. Johnny came out. He won the first 4 rounds. Dave won the next 5 with a knockdown. But then I don't understand what Dave did in the 10th round. He didn't do anything. He gave the 10th round away. So, to me, it was 5 each, but a knockdown in Dave's favour.
Could he just been that fucked, does it? He
Yeah,
didn't.
I think he were. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that knockdown won him the fight for me. 5 rounds each and a knockdown. So yeah, he should have won. But listen, some people, mate, honestly, were talking out the backsides, saying worst decision they've ever seen in boxing. And I says, well, you've not obviously watched a lot of boxing, have you?
Stupid.
Do you know what I mean?
The only thing for me, Dad, if Fisher's talking about going up any more levels, he needs a plan B. He clearly
I think Brett's hit it on. Eddie needs to drop back down a level. And listen, he put some nice punches together in them first 4 rounds. Didn't really use his jab enough. I mean, sticking his hand out in Dave's face could have been a solid jab. If you can touch his face, you can jab his face. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that were a bit wasteful. I mean, the shot that set him off in the fifth as well, he should never have been getting hit with. He stood close up to Dave and got hit with a silly short left hook. And then I think one of the follow-ups maybe clipped him on back of head or around back of ear.
That's a good point you make, though, Daz, because the shot that hurt him, he shouldn't have got hit with it. It was naive, wasn't it?
Yeah, he should have.
Didn't he put his hands down and look at the ref or something?
He just I think
they were in close, and then he hit him.
Yeah, I think he looked close and just dropped his hands.
Yeah.
They were touching shoulders, maybe. And he just got hit with a left hook.
The fight was quite crude at times, wasn't it?
Mate, listen, let's be real. It was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I've seen better technique, mate, outside kebab shop at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's not dress it up. End of the day, mate, absolutely awful. You've got to say you watch Moses Itauma and then you watch this and you think
levels.
Yeah,
What would you do with Dave Allen next, Daz?
Mate, I think it's quite tricky, really, because I think he's shot to pieces.
Yes.
But I just think that he looked better because Johnny Fisher's not very good. A bit harsh maybe, but I don't want to see Dave get flattened. You know what I mean? I don't want to see anybody go out and get flattened. And like I say it about Chisora. Don't want to see it happen to Joe Joyce. I don't know, mate. Who does he fight?
He's talking about that British title, isn't he? So he needs a Fraser Clark or someone to get him in and around that.
Well, Fabio Wardley. What would Fabio Wardley do to him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're talking serious power. You know what I mean? I know Johnny Fisher, they reckon could whack, but come on, Johnny Fisher's not. Babich was small. You know what I mean? He's not really stopped anyone of note. Listen, Fabio Wardley, I don't know. I wouldn't want to see that.
No.
Someone mentioned to me yesterday about David fight Moses Itauma next because that's a step up, and I'm like, I don't want to see that either. If I'm honest, really don't want to see that.
Dave Allen won't take that either.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
I think he would, Brett. I think he would if the money's right. I think he would.
Probably, but then that's when team around you have got to protect you, innit?
Would they know, Darren? Would they?
Of course they wouldn't. No, of course they wouldn't.
Let me just get Orkan's thoughts. So, Orkan, give us your thoughts on Fisher and Dave Allen.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I had it exactly the same. 5-5, and the knockdown was the difference. No robbery at all.
And what would you do next with Johnny Fisher? Where would you take him?
It looks like that Eddie Hearn wants to have the rematch in London. So we have to wait and see if we get the rematch.
I hope it's on a good card. I can't see that doing many tickets.
Yeah, I think it do massive. I think it do great. Johnny Fisher, it sells a lot of tickets.
Yeah, it does.
So I think it will do numbers.
Yeah,
is that serious then? They're actually thinking about running it back?
Yes, and Eddie Hearn said in the interview, he wants it.
Well, do you know what? I don't look for Dave Allen's side of things. I don't mind that. I'd like him to get another payday based off last night's performance. So if that's the case, that's the case. But
Eddie Hearn said it in an IFL interview after the fight last night.
All right.
Dave Allen could well beat him next time.
Johnny Fisher. Thing is, Johnny Fisher could well use a bit of brains, get behind a proper jab, and win every round, or even score a stoppage.
If he can touch him,
you can hit him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on to the main event then, guys. So Usyk versus Fury. I'm going to come to Orkan first. So Orkan, give us your breakdown and your thoughts on the fight between Usyk and Fury.
I couldn't watch the DAZN stream on the main stream, so I watched it from round 5 on the Ukraine DAZN commentary. But I rewatched the fight today, and I think for me it was a great fight and very even fight. I had it very even, but I think I had Usyk by a round.
Okay, thank you. Coming to Brett next. So Brett, give us your thoughts. 116, 112 from all the judges. How did you see it?
It's a little bit wide for me, mate. And I suppose we might finish with this old AI thing. Did the AI thing give it 6 rounds?
Yeah, 118, 112.
Yeah.
Wow.
So very
They
interesting.
scored a few rounds even.
Yeah. So very interesting. But because I literally was buzzing yesterday, as we all were in the group chat, and just sat on the edge of my sofa, just wanting to absorb it all. And I wanted, I get shit for giving Fury shit, and I wanted to see him do well. So I was trying to look at it from don't be biased, give him the chance tonight. And I thought Fury was fantastic. I do. I think he was. There's a couple of things when he started going on his back foot that killed him. But the reality is, and I think you said it on Thursday, Daz, about whatever happens here, Usyk will find a way. And what Usyk did was he found a way. When he was bouncing and he was popping his head, that's when you knew he was excited, because he was like, oh, I've seen something here. And he was landing at will. But the reality is that it's okay for us to admit this. Usyk has dethroned Fury, and you'll like this, Carl, and AJ. He's dethroned them both. And the bottom line is they're not as good as him. His boxing IQ is way smarter. We can get into the debates, as we have done on the group chat, about where he ranks. I'm not going down that route. I'm not saying he's one of the greatest. I'm not going down.
He's the best of this era.
He's the best of this era, Daz. And he downloads information. He's extremely smart, and he finds a way to figure you out. And he's figured every version of what we've thrown at him. He's figured AJ 0.20. He's figured Fury's best ever training camp away in Malta, not speaking to his missus for 3 months. He's figured it all out. And he deserved to win last night. I had him by 2 rounds, but I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be pissed off with anybody that says it was a draw, but I had him by 2 rounds.
I had it as a draw, but I think I'm being ultra patriotic, to be honest. One thing I did like about Usyk, boy, he finishes that round strong. Boy, he finishes it strong. That last minute, and that's what I think. That's what the judges, that's what they remember, and also the work he put into the body. The work he put into the body. Wow, what is something else? Something else.
But the thing is about. Because I do think it was a great Fury performance though as well, because we're talking about levels. We just spoke about levels. Talk about Moses, where does he go, and then we're going right down into the trash can in terms of talking about Dave Allen and Fisher. Now we're going right to the very, very top levels. Tyson Fury was fantastic last night.
The only thing though, Brett, the only thing I wanted him to do more of, he wasn't good enough to force Usyk on the back foot, was it? He wasn't good enough. Let's be honest.
Mate, is that because of levels? This is what I'm trying to say. We as Brits, we build these heavyweights up. Like, we've had the conversations over and over again. Was Joshua ever going to be as good as what he was made out to be? And that's what I'm saying. Let's put a little bit of cotton wool around Moses, because let him learn. Let him learn on the job. Let him find his way. And then obviously there's a fan base that has made out that Tyson Fury, and his dad's out with this, that is the greatest heavyweight of all time. The reality is we know as boxing purists, he's a bit of fun, Tyson Fury, but he's not brilliant. He's just at that level. His game is fuck. He's 6'7". He'll have a go. He's charismatic in the press conferences. He's not got that concussive knockout punch. But, he is what he is. And whereas Usyk is not, 50 pounds in weight, he's not going to knock him out last night. but he downloaded all the information and got the job done.
And the one thing I didn't like before I bring Coach Medcalf in, how cringe was it when Daniel Dubois got into the ring after?
I hated every second of that.
It was
Do you know what?
Usyk's time. It was Usyk's time.
Hey, it'll have been Frank Warren that told him
I
to
was
do that.
just about to say, Daz.
I thought it was poor etiquette. I thought
Frank could have said do that.
Yeah, but let's
Frank
stop
could
it.
have said do that.
Let's stop trying to make Dubois like into
he can't
this.
talk. He can't
into
talk.
this charismatic thing. The best we've seen him when it wasn't scripted is when AJ threw the chair to one side and said, "Daniel, don't disrespect me." And he said, "Who the fuck you talking to?" That's the best we've seen him. Stop trying to make him talk. He can't talk. The boy can fight.
Yeah.
Turkey will have him on all the cards. But that was, and again, typical Usyk, super classy, just steps back and goes, "Turkey, you want this fight?
Yeah.
Let's make it then." But it was so bad. It was really bad.
I thought it was very poor etiquette when the guy's just gone through 12 rounds, having his head punched in. He's got some fucking fighter calling him out straight after the fight.
Terrible, mate.
Yeah, it was very disrespectful from Dubois.
Poor etiquette.
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Medcalf, let's have your version of events and you know what happens next.
Mate, honestly, if I would have been in Fury's corner last night, I'd have been most frustrated man on planet. Because all I'll say to you is what happened when Tyson put some meat behind his jab and that straight right hand. Where did Usyk go? He went backwards.
Yeah.
Right. I think personally, from watching that last night, I think Fury was a little bit gun shy, if I'm honest, and that's from the first fight. I don't think he expected Usyk to be able to hurt him. Listen, Usyk hit him with some cracking shots last night.
Yeah, he did.
And he never moved. He never moved, Fury. He just acknowledged him and went, "Yeah, all right." You know, some of the shots were better than the shot he hit him with knife round in last fight. I think his game plan was all wrong. I think they were telling him in corner you were winning. I mean, it was close. I had it in Usyk by a round. A lot of punches from both of them as well were caught on gloves, you know.
Yeah.
There were quite a few caught on gloves from both of them. Usyk's bodywork was good. But I don't know. I was just so frustrated with Fury because Fury, you know, he just had the ability to walk him down intelligently. I mean, when he used that jab, it's just physics. It's just laws of physics. He's got longer arms. He's bigger. You know, he's got quite good hand speed, Fury, as well. Fury, when he used that jab and forced him back, you know, with 1-2s, even he was throwing hook off at jab. It were very good. And
So why didn't he carry on then, Daz? Was he not good enough to carry on?
I've no idea. No idea. I'm baffled.
Yeah, I want to ask Daz that question. Obviously, he's the one qualified on here to say this because we all had an opinion that AJ should have done this, and we've all got an opinion that Fury should have done this. Yeah, so why can't they do it, mate? And put yourself on that side. Is it because the game plan is wrong, or is it because he's that good?
I think I expected AJ to smash him to bits, if I'm honest. I don't know. I'll give Usyk most of the credit for how good he is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to not, but maybe the others are just a bit poorer than we think.
Right. That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I was watching it yesterday, and I was. Listen, I'm not going to say it were an absolute exquisite performance from Usyk or Fury. It wasn't, and I can guarantee Lennox was sat in that crowd thinking, "Good job you weren't around in my day."
Yeah,
I can guarantee that Vlad were thinking the same.
Yeah.
He's the best of this. He's the best heavyweight of this era, but there's no one to beat. And that's not his fault. I mean, people could say the same about Calzaghe. You know, he's the best super middleweight of this era, but you know, there were no one around to dance with. I think you know, the plan, what you should do with USYK is what Fury did in spots yesterday, which solid jab, right and behind it, force him on back foot, because he did force him on back foot. But when USYK took that step forward, Fury then took a step back.
Yeah.
No, I'd have been going nuts in that corner. I'd have been going absolutely mental. I'd have been like, listen, my plan would have been from start, get that jab solid. If you're going to touch and play with it, make sure it's to set something up or to draw him in.
Because he landed that 1-2 down the pipe, didn't he? He did land that quite. That was his best shot.
Yeah, or to draw him in. Because what Tyson did is he was touch or solid jab, right hand, and then USYK knows he's got to sort of react to that. So then USYK could, if a couple of times USYK just came in rushing. Now, to me, Fury should have just dipped his knees and walked him onto something. Do you know what I mean? Walked him onto something, tie him up. But why is a man that size hitting and tying up against someone who's...
Yeah.
I mean, did you see size difference, look? Yeah. Like some off a cartoon.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think it went wrong game plan. At least I'll hold my hands up, get some criticism. But I just think wrong game plan. Tyson should have never been engaged, that throwing and then stepping back. Never in a million years.
So, next question then, I'll go to Orkan first. Does Fury retire or does he fight AJ?
I think, or I hope that maybe we could see Fury AJ in late summer, maybe at Wembley.
What about you, Brett?
Listen, the biggest winner last night was Eddie Hearn, because the bottom line is, I've said this previously, I think Turkey's kind of done with AJ now. I really do. AJ's not been in his mouth all week in the build-up. Doesn't even want to entertain it. He was desperate for the third fight, to run this one back. AJ's not mentioned. So now, because Fury didn't get knocked out, and because Fury didn't stink the place out, no one really... I mean, look, we're all boxing lovers. Would we watch Fury USYK 3 again? We would watch it, though, mate. We'd watch it.
I'd watch it, but I won't be as engaged as I was this time.
No, but we'd watch it. So Fury can't go that route. So Fury goes into this next one going, well, give me AJ then, because I'm game now. I thought I won that fight, and I'm absolutely pissed off. I've not been knocked out, not been concussed. I'm ready to go again. Give me AJ. So in terms of, do I think it'll happen again? Yeah, I think it now is the best time it could have ever happened right now.
What about you, Daz?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. Do you know what? As far as USYK's concerned, I'd be very interested to see how. I mean, because Fury caught him with some good single shots yesterday. Be very interested to see how he'd react to getting them off Daniel, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And that, listen, I'm not for 1 minute saying Daniel's going to beat him, but Daniel's flying high. And I tell you what, every jab that Daniel throws is a ramrod. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't connect with you, it's going to knock you off balance. I'd just be very interested. You know, the version of Daniel that we've just seen. I'm not saying he's going to win because USYK's a class act, but I think it's fair to say USYK's probably going to decline. It's declining a little bit.
Yeah, but are we overlooking what he's got in front of him with Parker?
No. I'm not 100% he's going to get past Parker. But
anti-Parker, I do.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I just think that Parker v USYK isn't as interesting as Dubois v USYK. You know, I think Usyk will retire on the Opetaya fight. I think it's all about going back to cruiserweight, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Turkey will give him absolute bags of money to meet, and then he'll walk away, win, lose or draw.
Do you know what, mate? I don't know why I just don't walk away now.
Yeah,
same. I agree with you, mate.
Do it now. Yeah.
I suppose so. When them bags of money that are there, Dad, it's hard, isn't it? When them bags of money are hanging there.
Yeah. I tell you what, though. I mean, I sometimes, I suppose I come across hating on you, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I think the guy's great. You know what I mean? I'd love to meet him and shake his hand. I think he's amazing. He's an amazing fighter.
What a role model.
I was just going to say, he's an amazing role model. He's how you should be. You know what I mean?
Respectful.
He's a bit batshit crazy, like, but listen, what a guy. But I can't sit and listen to he's the third best heavyweight in history. You know what I mean? Because
we will do that show on a pre-record though, because I think we should.
yeah,
do
I mean,
rankings.
yeah, I get you, but just out of curiosity, right? He were having problems with Fury's jab yesterday, and it weren't even a solid jab every time. Mate, look at what Lennox had. Look at what Larry Holmes had. Do you know what I mean? It's just, listen, the guy is the best of this era. And he's not even a natural heavyweight. So
I don't want to put a spoiler on who I would put as the best heavyweight of all time, but his name begins with L and his surname begins with L.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that as well. You know,
but mate, you've said it in our group chat away from here. It's as much as, because we love the sport and we get access to it now through DAZN and through BT Sport and TNT and Sky. We've got a lot of boxing being thrown at us, so we're into it and we're trying to propel the sport, and the sport's back on the map. But the bottom line is, if we're being brutally honest, and you've said it, Daz, is that it's not a very good heavyweight era, is it?
No, it's shit.
When you look back, so let's give him his flowers.
Yeah, he's the best of it.
AJ and Fury have gripped a nation. 96,000 and 90,000 at Wembley, and we've all watched and we've all jumped on it, and we all will still watch it if they carry on. But the bottom line is, it's not a great. If you think, when you just said those names there, Lennox and Holmes and Holyfield, and these boys were legit.
I wouldn't have even. I mean, I think Tyson had annihilated him as well. Tyson had been too quick and powerful.
It depends what version of Tyson, doesn't it?
Well, the best one. It took the best one. It took the best one. Yeah, and that's a compliment to Usyk. You know, it took all the heavyweights are named like on our group chat. It took the best version of him, or as near to the best version. You couldn't have gone in against him way below par, because it'd have probably won. But you know, the best versions, or close as you can, the best versions would have been. I mean, I think I named 10 of them, and then I said, and that's without even naming such as Ernie Shavers and even listen to Ron Lyles and people like that.
Yeah.
But that's not to take away from what. It's a bit like what I said about Itoma. He's only able to beat what's put in front of him.
Yeah. It's not his fault what's around him, is it?
No, and that's the same with Usyk. He's had the best around at the minute. He's beaten.
At two weights.
Yeah, he's not even a natural cruiserweight. Heavyweight.
When you talked earlier with Lennox sitting ringside, you're right. Lennox must have been licking his lips, going, imagine, because Fury had the gate. You're right. Fury had the 1-2. That was Lennox.
Yeah,
that range. Lennox would have had him out probably.
Lennox has actually come out and said it, and this is first time, because I think someone sort of questioned Lennox v Usyk, and Lennox actually has come out, and I think he got a bit between his teeth and said, "Listen, I'd have smashed him to bits in 3 rounds."
Yeah.
Lennox is one of them. Don't question my legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He don't play, does he?
No,
he don't play.
No, I mean, there's a video of him. I think he was at an airport, and some guy's gone up to him, put his hand up back of Lennox's neck, and put his fist up to Lennox's chin, and you see him just switch.
Yeah, I've seen it.
He went, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
He says, "Don't do that," and you can see it. Yeah, listen, Lennox was a killer.
Yeah, he was.
And all of them from that era was all of them.
So, last question for me to round the night off, because I know Brett's a bit of an AJ fan. So it's only right that I finish it with an AJ question. I'll have AJ in my mouth for once. So, if AJ and Fury do fight late summer, who wins? I'll come to Orkan first. I won't come to Brett because I know what the answer is. Orkan, who wins?
I think Fury wins.
How?
I think it good 2 points. I I don't think AJ will knock out Fury. So I think Fury will win. It's maybe on a close decision, but I think Fury will win.
What about you, Dan?
And I don't think WBC has ordered Gabriel Chang and AJ is next in the line to fight the winner for the WBC interim. But I don't think that happened.
Let's be honest, Orkan. If that carrot's being dangled to fighting Fury at Wembley, there's only one fight he's going to go for, isn't there? Yes,
100%.
Yes. Dad's coming to you. What are your initial thoughts?
On last performances, you've got to say Fury, haven't you? But listen, if Anthony hits him on chin, mate, he's on his arse. But the Anthony that's going backwards, like he did against Dubois, I don't think that Anthony beats Fury. An aggressive Anthony, who knows, mate? Possible.
So go on then, who wins?
Well, you don't know, do you? I mean,
I feel like you're in the hands of Parliament. Come on.
I've got to say Fury, mate, on what, last performances.
What, points or knockout?
Probably a late stoppage.
Okay, and Brett, finishing the show for you, fella. So there they are at Wembley. The bell goes ding ding. I did say bell. How'd it go?
So I've had a theory for years. I mean, they're all washed up and done now. But at the height of when we all had the conversations about Fury, Wilder, all washed up, by the way, now. Fury, Wilder, and AJ. I had a theory with the styles make fights, and that I thought that, weirdly enough, that Fury had Wilder's number, and I thought that Wilder, a game version of Wilder, Dominic Brazil version of Wilder, would have knocked AJ out because AJ would have walked onto a straight right hand. But on the flip side, my theory, I thought that a game AJ would get underneath Tyson's long arms and hit him with an uppercut and knock him spark out. Now, we're now going to the point of like, none of that's in play anymore. And what is in play? I'm going to say that AJ, I have to say this because I'll get mullered in the group chat if I don't anyway. AJ will stop him. And I think he'll stop him in around about 5-6 rounds.
Wow, quite early.
And because I think Tyson Fury is going to try and knock him out. I think Tyson will come in with Tyson's going to, by the way, if this fight does happen, Tyson's going to come in pumped because he's fuming. Because like you're saying, everyone's saying, if we'd have had it, if yesterday Tyson Fury had won it by 1 round, would any of us been fuming today?
No.
None of us would have been fuming. No. So Tyson's fuming because he was in there.
He fought one.
He
fought one by 3 rounds, Dad.
Yeah. He said to Ben Davison as well backstage. He says, "What do you think?"
I saw that one, mate.
And Ben went, "It was close, but I thought you were going to get the nod."
But so the reality is that he's going to come in and he's going to think, give me that massive amount of money because I'm going to knock AJ out. Wherever you want to put it, I'm going to knock AJ out. I just think styles make fights, and I feel like AJ. I've always said it. I'm a little bit hesitant now because of what happened with the Daniel Dubois fight, if I'm being brutally honest. And I thought Tyson was fantastic last night. Did what he could do with his skill set. But I feel like, I'm going to stick it on it and say that AJ will do it. The only thing I will say, though, is what I would like to see is all these Fury fanboys that have gone very, very quiet on Twitter right now. Do we need to do a door-to-door knock to see if they're all right? Because when AJ got knocked out in front of 96,000, the AJ fans had to front it out. So any of you Fury boys, it's okay, boys. It gets better. It gets better.
Well, Jack Gladman's just put inside best Vitale v USYK. Who wins? Vitale.
Yeah, Vitale was a killer.
Far too big, far too big, far too powerful.
I'll go on record as saying Vitaly would have done a better job on Usyk than Vladimir would have done.
Yeah. And they'd have both won. Yeah.
So
Usyk wouldn't have got near Vlad. He'd have just pinged him with that jab.
remember, Vitaly gave Lewis a hell of a fight, didn't it?
Oh, mate. And that uppercut, he stretched his neck and he's still unbelievable. Unbelievable. But listen, Usyk, I just from a Fury point of view, we Sugar Hill. I mean, what I can't understand. Like I say, I'm still baffled by the Fury stepping back. Honestly, because to me, when Fury had thrown the jab, the double jab right hand, just sit down on your knees a little bit. And when he comes, even if you walk him onto another jab, it's going to have the massive effect if he's walking onto it.
I don't think it was good enough, Daz.
Yeah, but if you're good enough to do the first phase, if you're good enough to throw the jab, double jab right hand, then you're good enough just to sit your ground and throw.
What did Tyson say, though? Everyone has a plan until they get smacked in the face.
Yeah, but, come on, he's one of the best heavyweights in the world. If he can't execute that plan, there's something wrong.
Perfect place to bring the show to an end. So, obviously, Christmas, a few days away. So, Brett, I hope you get everything you want off Santa Fella. Have a good Christmas.
Thanks, mate.
Orkan, have a good Christmas, young man. See you in the new year.
Thank you.
Daz, same to you. Have a good Christmas, fella.
You too, mate.
This has been Last Ball Boxing, sponsored by LW Liftings and SC Travel. See you in the new year, 2025.